All right, welcome back to another episode of Investment Realtors podcast, Go To Realtors podcast.
Yes. Hello, hello.
Justin Lewis, Justin.
Justin Lewis.
So today we have, it's not that it's not fun, but I mean, yeah, it's not fun.
It's not fun.
So our governing body, Reco, is now kind of changing to what's called Tresa, which is going to be the Trust in Real Estate Services Act, formerly known as the Real Estate and Brokers Act.
Mhm.
So they're making a few changes to kind of better protect our clients. Like overall, I guess just the consumers on how buyers are handled, sellers are handled, multiple representation. I mean, it's definitely good to know and put this information out there because, like we've mentioned before, there are a lot of shady people that kind of take advantage, and it always just takes the bad apple of the bunch to ruin it.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go through some of the articles we were sent from Reco,
Yeah.
and just kind of explain what the difference is on, now nobody is considered a customer, everyone is considered a client.
Well, there's been over the years we've always heard like questions and concerns a lot of the times when it comes to representing clients in a transaction, right?
Yep.
So one of the main things is what the difference between representing them as a client versus a customer, and can you self-represent your own person in a transaction, right? So one of the things they changed was that right there. So before, back in the day, you were either a client or a customer, and each one had their own specific duties.
Yes.
So if you were represented them as a client, you had the fiduciary duties to look out for their best interest. You gave them your advice, your opinions, you gave them comparables, and you kind of directed them for their best interest.
Okay.
And then there was customer. Customer was, you were just the paperwork guy. You know what? I can't tell you if it's a good price. I can't tell you anything about the place. All I'm here to do is the paperwork for you. So they removed the customer, and what they did was they added a self-representation. So now, not sure exactly how it's going to work in total because they haven't got to it yet, but more or less, you're basically like your own lawyer. Let's say you went to court and you were your own lawyer. You're representing yourself.
Yep.
We have no advice. We can't help at all. We're just there to, according to this, if you're a listing agent representing a seller, you still show the properties to an unrepresented person looking to buy it, but you can't represent them. So it's a little tricky in that sense.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. This comes into effect April 1st, 2023. And
for now,
and they are coming out with more stuff. So it'll be interesting to know because right now we're kind of in the land of gray where
it's very gray.
It's very vague. It's not very specific. What's going to happen with like these self-represented, because of course at the end of the day when you're selling a property you're looking out for your seller, of course.
Yeah, you're allowed to do for the best interest of your seller.
Absolutely, but it'll just be interesting like you said. So now if they're self-represented, who's doing the paperwork? Because it doesn't really make sense that now the listing agent's going to do paperwork for free. And I know a lot of people argue that we're just paper pushers and that's what we get paid to do.
Well, if that's the way it is, we don't need, they're very unclear with the rules.
Yeah. It is definitely very, very interesting how it's going to kind of pan out and work. Like we all agree that there has to be changes made. I don't know if these were the changes we were thinking.
So far, it seems very ambiguous.
Very. And it doesn't make sense where, what's going to happen with these self-represented people, how you're supposed to help them or how you're supposed to, I guess, tailor to their needs. Like obviously, like we always say, you're representing the seller, but at the end of the day, if they're calling in and they want to be your client also, now how is that going to work? Like it's
yeah. And where's the liability for a self-represent? Like they never went to school and they're not licensed to trade in real estate. But are they expected to fill out the same paperwork as everybody else?
Maybe they get their lawyer to draft it up. And that's what it doesn't make sense.
It's very unclear.
So what I'm curious if they're self-represented, and let's say for the whole deal, because the commission is always between the seller and the listing agent.
Yeah.
So if there's a total of 5%, 2.5 to the buyer, 2.5 for the seller. Now, if that buyer is self-represented, what happens with that other 2.5?
Unclear.
Is it expected that the buyer, because they're self-represented, would get like a break in price, or does the listing agent take all of that? Because that doesn't make sense. Like,
it doesn't make sense, and they have no info on that.
Yeah, every scenario that we've tried to pan out between each other, just
it doesn't make sense
at all.
Another thing they're changing is the multiple bids.
Yeah, multiple bids, not
multiple bids. So according to this, the seller has the ability to disclose whatever aspects of the offers that they want, but can also pull. So they could start by saying, I want to disclose everything there is to know about the offer, and then switch it midway through and say, okay, for now on, now I don't want to disclose anything. So that's very unclear as well.
What happens then? So if they change their mind, what happens to the other people you've already told
the offers to? It's very unclear. You probably see that's the thing with this. I know it's just like starting off and they're kind of working out the bugs. From what we see right now and how close it is to the like presumed launch date, there's quite a few loopholes and gray areas that are going to cause a ton of confusion from what we see.
April 1st is around the corner, buddy.
It's right there. We're right there. It makes no sense. So, I mean, in a way for buyers, I guess it's good to know what your offers are when you're competing for buyers. But for sellers, we've had other agents even give their perspective. I wouldn't want, as a seller, to give away what the offer is, right? Because it affects like how high people go and what.
Yes and no. I mean, it's a case by case. So I mean, if they're doing like when sellers have the ability as a case by case to change what they want or to do what they want or to disclose or not to disclose. Yeah, I mean, if you're just kind of doing now with one paintbrush and this is how it has to be, it's like, well,
they could opt out if they don't want to.
It's gonna be funny.
It's gonna be strange. Interesting. People don't want, like, people love bidding wars. Sellers who in certain markets they love the blind bid because a lot we've seen people get way more than they ever expected on a house.
But then people will argue that's why, especially buyers, that's why they don't want it, and it's not fair.
Yeah.
Because if you have two offers, the house is listed at $550, you have maybe one offer at $550 and one at $551.
If everybody knows,
and you go, then it's like, okay, well, I'll beat you $1,000. I'll beat you. Whereas right now, it's like, well, the other offer is beating you, and it's like, well, how much? Well, I can't disclose that.
Yeah.
So now another offer's gone up $5,000, $10,000, pretty much.
So for the longest time,
unnecessarily.
Yeah, it's been the seller's been winning for the longest time, and now it's switching over to the buyer has a chance to win.
Why can't we just have a happy medium? Like, is that hard to ask for in 2023? Just to have like everybody wins. Everybody takes a little, gives a little.
For someone to win, somebody has to lose. That's the problem in this world.
I disagree. The problem, I think everybody's too greedy either side. And that's the problem. You need to either feel like you stole it, or you need to either feel like you've gotten a deal, or you've given it away for free. And it's like, no, why can't you just, have healthy bids, healthy prices? So this will be interesting to see. I mean, we just touched on a few of the land of gray, and more's going to come out. So I guess we could maybe do a follow-up video of what we learned from this, or what's going to be, of like what kind of loopholes they close.
As more info comes out, we'll do follow-up videos for this. This is like this is kind of like the beta version of it, where it just came out. They're working out the bugs on it still. So
funny.
From what we're reading, when it's too much gray area, that's where people take advantage of stuff.
I disagree. People are very honest in today's day and age.
So I don't know. In the land of gray, the winner is
the one who stole it and the one who didn't give it away for free.
I guess so. I don't know.
There's only one winner, I guess.
There's only one winner here.
And it looks like it's not going to be the agents.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Those are strange things. But we'll keep on it.
Yeah, we'll wrap up this one on we wore the same shirt, not for the video.
Yeah,
it was
true.
Just great minds think alike. Yeah,
it was very good coincidence.
So we'll keep you guys updated on what happens. We're actually having a meeting tomorrow, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe. tell us to go fly a kite. Something.
Well, it's windy today, so we
It is very
probably
windy.
could.
We're in spring, hours ahead. Everybody's got a little pep in their step.
Yeah, well, you look peppy today.
Yeah, very peppy.
You look like you're in a good mood today.
Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you on the next one, or we'll see you on the next one.